Yeah, hello guys. How na day? This is Ezagui TV. Please don't forget to follow my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. Yeah, it like say the problem of stopping Bola Ahmed Tinubu inauguration on May 29. Like say the thing still dey increase more because a group of people they try stop the inauguration, and also five Abuja residents dem go court today insist say make a court to fit stop Bola Ahmed Tinubu inauguration on May 29 because say Tinubu no win the election, and get the two-third of vote wey e suppose to get for Abuja, because dem no see how person wey dem no vote for, wey no win for Abuja, go come become president. Na im dem come say make court look into the constitution, 1999 Nigeria constitution, and listen to Professor Chris Nwakobia. So make you listen to their video. Please don't forget to share my video. Follow me on my Facebook page.
Are the ones who are right here. You asked, Jay, if the tenure of Mr. President can be extended to allow for the adjudication, for the litigation, for the matters in court to be fully determined. And the answer is, it is not about extension. It is about what the Constitution envisages. And I hope that the Honorable Attorney General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Minister of Justice are listening. I hope that the DG, DSS is listening. I hope that our esteemed jurist and Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, is listening, because this is very important. We're at that point in our democracy when we must do things properly. We must work within the precincts of what is tried, proper, and right. And I say without any sense of equivocation that it is not about calling for an extension. It is about a position envisaged by law, that we may at some point in our historicity, at some point in our nationhood, get to this situation where we must look at the Constitution for direction. And so nobody's saying extend the tenure. The Constitution says that the tenure of a president, the sitting president, can continue until such a time when a new president takes an oath of office and is subject simply to the situations envisaged by the Constitution. We must effectively determine who becomes the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And Section 134(2)(b) clearly states, without equivocation, that the man who must sit as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria must win 25% of the votes cast in the Federal Capital Territory. Must is a word. Because if you look at the Constitution, you see that it clearly says that you would win 2/3 of the states, including 25% of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. And what does it envisage? Look at the law. Look at the intention of the draftsman. Across the nation, you're expected as a governor to win 2/3 of the local government, 25% of 2/3 of the local government in the state. And the reason is because the draftsman envisages that a man who must be governor must be popular, must have a wide spread, must have an acceptability of sorts within the state. And then who superintends over Nigeria from Abuja, who is indeed constitutionally the governor, if you like, of Abuja, is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And Abuja runs as an exceptional territory. He does superintend over Abuja through the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory and the Abuja Development Agency, that's Federal Capital Development Agencies. What does he do? The president who must superintend over Abuja must be deemed to be popular, must be deemed to have won 25% of the votes in Abuja. So the matter in court, essentially, for which we are going to be at the Federal High Court in Abuja, Maitama, tomorrow, is simply saying that you should not swear in a man as president until the court determines his status as president-elect or president-select, mark my use of words, and I'm saying this without equivocation. Now, if the law says that he must win 25% of Abuja, do the citizens, indigents, residents of Abuja who voted have the right to ask that the man who must superintend over Nigeria from Abuja wins 25% of the votes cast in Abuja? The answer is a capital letter yes. So the argument is before the judge to determine whether he can ask for an extension of the swearing of the president until this matter is determined. And the answer is capital letter yes. I'll read to you Section 135 of the 1999 Constitution. Section 135, sub 1 says, without doubt, Steve, listen, listen. It says, subject to the provisions of this Constitution, a person shall hold the office of president until when the successor in office takes the oath of office. Section 135.1.
Okay. All right. Go on.
Section 135.1 of the 1990. And then subsection. And what are we saying? That we must determine whether the man who is president-select has truly won the presidency as explicitly stated by the Constitution. And the answer is a capital letter no. And on the February 25th, Nigerians went out to vote. Albeit Nicodemously, on the 1st of March at 4 a.m., a certain individual was declared president-select. My choice of word advisedly, and I'm ready to face anything for it. So he was declared. Did he meet the provisions of the Electoral Act? Did he meet the provisions of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, sections 134, 2B, and sections 135? The answer is no. And so what must we do? Are we going to go ahead on the May 29th to swear in a president who didn't meet the constitutional provisions? These were the arguments of Dati Baba Ahmed when he clearly stated that any attempt to swear in the president-select on the 29th of May will be dealing a murderous blow on the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and by extension, dealing a fatal blow on democracy. The Federal Capital Territory is a unique and distinct territory where the president superintends, as it were, not only as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, but even if you were to borrow the state structures, the governor of the Federal Capital Territory. As you and I talk, the reason we're in court, and I'm going to be in court, and Nigerians are going to be in court tomorrow, is simply to ensure that those who live in Abuja have a president who wins, as provided by the Constitution, 25% of the votes in Abuja. Then number two, our argument is not creating a vacuum, because the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in section 135 clearly provides for this kind of situation. Until the matter is determined, the subsisting president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in this case President Muhammadu Buhari, has the right under the Constitution. There's no vacuum. There's no call for an interim government to remain in power as provided by the Constitution until these substantive matters are determined. And that's why I appeal to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Malami, to take note and advise the president properly. If the president is too tired to continue, then let the Vice President Yemi Osibajo continue until these matters are determined. Let nobody blow Jonas. Let nobody railroad us. Let nobody force us into a 29th of May handover. The Constitution does not envisage that. It says that 29th of May in subsection 135.2 is subject to the provision of section 135.1. And so we need to know whether the president-select is validly elected as provided by the law. And so what I am doing today is, in actual fact, Steve, in actual fact, Sheyi, a great service to the law and the Constitution, a great service to our democracy, was saying that the law must be followed simpliciter. The law must be followed and the intentions of the draftsman effectively complied with. And I say here that Nigerians want a president who is not only popular, but a president that connects with them. Steve, Sheyi, as I speak to you, you wonder how and where the president-select got to where he is. Kano, he didn't win. Abuja, he didn't win. Lagos, he didn't win. Kaduna, he didn't win. Katsina, he didn't win. So how did he get these votes? And so all we have had since February the 25th is a litany of hubris, deceit, chicanery, and perfidy. And I think that the time has come for us to put a hole in this gamut of deceit. And Steve, as a leading obedient, for me, not an ounce of doubt. For millions of Nigerians in the diaspora and at home, not an ounce of doubt. We believe that the judiciary will do right. We believe that the Constitution will be upheld. We believe that May 29th is not sacrosanct because the judiciary will wake up to the realities of the provision of Section 135, sub 1 of the Constitution and determine whether the man who INEC selected to be president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was validly elected. Our democracy must grow better than it is today. Steve, I believe that the battles that we fought, I believe that the battles that took the life of Chima Obani, several young boys and young girls in the desire for a new Nigeria will not be in vain. Steve, I believe that the call of the obedience for a new Nigeria, where leadership is responsible and responsive to the people, will not be like the wait for Godot. Steve, I believe that a new Nigeria is in the horizon, and I believe that the judiciary will do right. And my faith is not outlandish. My faith is rooted in that inimitable quote of James Russell Lowell, who said, and I quote him, "Truth on the scaffold, falsehood on the throne. That same truth sways the future. For behind the dim unknown standeth God in the shadows, keeping watch over his own." Truth forever on the scaffold. No matter how you hold it down, it will come up. It will overtake falsehood. Our battle is a battle of light over darkness, truth over falsehood, hate over love. And you know what? All over the country, across Nigerians in diaspora, there's a dim unknown. Like you stated, 29th of May is just next door. And people are asking themselves, what will happen with our mandate? Will this man be sworn in on the 29th? And I said to you, Steve, and to Nigerians who are listening to me, behind the dim unknown standeth God, keeping watch over Nigerians, understanding that the time for a new day and a new deal is now. The time for a new republic is now. The time for a new tendency in governance is now. The time for a watchman who is responsible and responsive to the people is now. And Steve, nothing can stop it. So Peter Gregory Obi is not in doubts about the morrow. And the obedience across the world are not in the doubts in any modicum, any way about the morrow. I am confident that something will give because the learned justices at different strata, the court tomorrow, the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, and the Supreme Court will do what is right because the time to take our country out of the jangling discord of inanity, disease, decay, despondency, and want is now. The time to build a highway of righteousness and leadership is now.